Hey everybody! Good morning. Good morning from all the places. Uh, it's still raining in the desert. That's fantastic. Gloomy in Texas. Let's see. Good morning from California. Welcome to my YouTube, you all. Hi, Evelyn from Sweden, South Carolina, Nebraska, Connecticut, Wales, Ottawa, Canada, Maryland. Oh, Mary, that's excellent. Mary says, I look forward to each day. Yesterday, the FedEx lady caught me carrying on an extended conversation with the chickens. I hear you, Mary. I don't have chickens, but if I did, you could well imagine that I would be carrying on conversations with them. It is a beautiful day in Colorado. Hi, Kit. Durango must also be lovely. And I hope to do some weaving or spinning outside on my deck today. I think it's going to be almost 70 in Fort Collins. So I am thankful to have a backyard, to be honest. Good morning. Harlan, Louisville has the red bud trees flowering. That's wonderful. All right. New York, Ontario, UK. Thanks for coming, you guys. People from Florida, Bainbridge Island, BC, Nashville. Judy, I have a sister-in-law in Nashville. She works at Vanderbilt, the hospital. Yes, Marlena, I could chat to my little knitted chickens, so that would be about par for the course for me. Hey, good morning, Pip from Australia. It must be very, very early there. Welcome. Thank you for coming to visit us from the place in the world where it is the middle of the night, in my opinion. Oh, good, Sheila. You found the Moki Moki book in your local digital library. That's fabulous. That is, here, I'll just put this up so you can see the, Moki Moki, I was talking about the ducks and the chickens. Anyway, it's beside the point. If you like to knit little things, she has some great patterns. So, I've done it again. Sorry about that. I'm still working on this, so I'm going to finish this thing today. And I thought it was a good thing to weave on together because so I had a comment from somebody in the, sorry about that, you guys. I thought that I had all my notifications turned off, and now I'm going to have personal texts coming up on the screen, and I don't know how to stop that. So I'm going to turn that off for the moment. So I had someone in the online class today, in the design class, which I thought was really interesting. She said that we're talking about how there's a monkey in your head, and the monkey has a voice that's discouraging. And since we're in this COVID thing, she can't get out to buy new yarn, so she has to use what she's already got. Her options are limited, but my possibilities now seem endless. So isn't that true that your options seem limited, but okay. So, sorry about that. Technology sometimes really gets me. So what Rose was saying in the design class was most of these things have stopped, and I find myself free to spend time as I wish because of the COVID stay-at-home stuff. So I can't go out to buy yarn, so I have to use what I've already got. My options are limited, but my possibilities now seem endless. Does anyone else feel this way? So, like, I feel like this a lot, actually. If I limit my possibilities of what I have available, that often things expand a lot. So it's just a positive way to look at the situation. Options are limited, but possibilities seem more endless. And she's saying that partly because she actually has more time right now to play with the possibilities. So that is what I was trying to say. I apologize for my inability to do more than one thing at once. Thanks, Nan. I am a fast typer. I learned to type when I was 12 with, this is how old I am. I had records, Mavis Beacon's typing program. And I learned on my little red record player. So there was a record that you would put on, and then you had an electric typewriter, and you would type, F, G, F, G, F, G. I was quite good at it. So that might be, I have good fine motor skills, so that's also part of why I'm a weaver. Yes, online ordering is a little dangerous. Yes, this is, you guys are asking about this. These are yoga blocks. So here, I'll move this. They're from Gaiam. They're very lightweight, and they help hold my loom. I'm glad you all are here. I hope you have some weaving to do these days, or something. It doesn't have to be weaving. Thanks for being so kind, Lynn. I appreciate it. Gail, I remember Mavis Beacon. It seems like forever ago. It was forever ago. It was probably 35 years ago. Do kids take typing anymore? I didn't take typing in school because I could test out of it because of Mavis Beacon. I also was a piano player, and I played the piano a lot when I was a kid, so I think that helped my typing skills. So I was hoping in this half hour to finish this so you all could see me finish the top of it, but I am clearly not going to make it. I consistently underestimate the amount of time things take, no matter how hard I work on that. I'm persistently optimistic, and I think I will get things done much faster than I ever do. Kate says kids don't take typing. How can we live in this age and people not know how to type? It seems nuts to me. We do everything on the computer. Whatever, it gives me a heads up, right? Kids need to learn to type, in my opinion. Hi, Marilyn. Glad you're here. Robin says she likes how the blues and purples are looking. I like them too. I think it looks good. This is my favorite chameleon red, red violet. Some of you have been to my retreats will recognize these colors are from my color wheel stash. I dyed 12 colors in the color wheel, and I bring it when I teach color classes. And they happen to be in my studio, which tells you how lazy I am. I grabbed the nearest colors. Nan says it's called keyboarding now instead of typing. Michelle says they teach in South Carolina elementary schools, they teach typing, so my faith is restored. Some children will know how to type, and they will be faster producers of content, which is what we do, right? Therefore, they will be more successful? I don't know. I'm winding off. Oh, shoot. I'm winding off this yarn. Yeah, that Mavis Beacon. I'm that old. Oh, Dory, I'm sorry. Dory says she got kicked out of typing class because the nuns said she was going to be a nurse, and since she was going to be a nurse, she didn't need to learn how to type. I bet you've proven that wrong, right, Dory? Oh, good. I'm glad the splicing is good. So I'm just going to, so at the bottom of this, see how I started with this little pattern? And I'm sort of thinking maybe I should end with this pattern. So I think I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do this dark part and make these little hills, and then I'm going to fill in the very end with that color I started with. First, let's fill in a little here. This yarn is pretty tough. I don't know if you could hear me pull it through there, but I don't worry too much about this yarn getting frayed and such, but if this were a more fragile yarn, I would never have done that. I would have it on a bobbin, or I would be more careful to hold the shed open like that while I pull it through. As I'm doing this, I'm also thinking when I'm doing a fringeless warp, you have to pack in a little extra warp weft right at the top, so that the when it comes off the loom, the weft sort of moves up and covers the ends of those warps as much as possible. So I'm trying to judge how much I need to put in here, knowing that it will pack down a little bit. Oh. Kit, you're not hearing the ding of each new comment, are you? Was it just the ding from the messages? And thank you for telling me that. I just turned off the... Hopefully you're not seeing them now. I just turned off my other camera because I think it's coming from my phone, which I'm using as a separate there's a phone camera up there, I believe that's where it's coming from. If you're still seeing my messages, then I'm going to have to get off, and I will see you all tomorrow. Actually, so I think, so down here at the end, I'm trying to judge how far this is. I have a little ruler. That was 3/4 of an inch total, but I bet I need to put an inch at the top because it's going to pack in. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more. It's a guessing game at this point, y'all. Yeah, Kit, I do have notifications off on my phone and on my computer, and for some reason the app I'm using for the camera is still letting that come through, and I don't know why. I've turned every notification off that I... Oh, you know what? Hang on, Kit. Thank you. I gotta get this out of the... I can fix it. I think I know what it is. You guys are so nice to bear with me. Okay, cool. I think we got it. Thank you for bearing with me in my momentary panic. Let's see if that will fix it now. Okay. Y'all are the best. Okay, I think that will fix it. Thank you, Kit. You reminded me what the thing is I think that's causing the problem, so I super appreciate it. Yeah, Robin, I was just having a technical issue because I was having my text show up in the image, my personal texts, and so I turned that off so that would stop happening, but I think I just fixed it. So hopefully, I really do like having my face showing so that if there are hearing impaired people watching, I think for some of them at least it helps. Unfortunately, YouTube's live captioning in the live process doesn't really seem to work. Even, at least this is the word I'm getting, that even for people who have more than 10,000 subscribers, which is the point at which it's supposed to work, that it doesn't really work that well on live. So for those people who have difficulty hearing, I was hoping that my image would show. Anyway, y'all got that. Okay, let's do these little hills. So down here, I had these little tiny hills. I'm going to do them in the opposite direction on the other side. And I did, let's see what I did down here. Can I mirror this is the question. I had 2 half hills and 2 hills in the middle. So down here, I was weaving this way. So I built up these 3 hills at once. Now if I want to mirror it, I have to build these hills first. So that's a little bit of a different challenge. But here's how I'm going to do it. So often I'll go back here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have about 7 warps in there. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's build up that little shape. Now at this point, it's been so long since I wove that. I wove this first part of this in January that I don't remember exactly how I did it, so I am guessing. All right, let's do that. And then here's a little trick. I'm going to zoom this in. Here's a trick I do quite often. Instead of cutting this off and doing a new piece of yarn, eccentric, eccentric. I just wove down the side of that because this isn't very steep. I could do that as long as I get enough weft in there. And then on this other side here, I have another little hill. So yeah, these are, if you guys don't know about these are quilting rulers, and they come in all sizes and they are fabulous. So go to, next time you're able to go to look at, Michael's or a craft store or a fabric store that sells quilting stuff, look for these. They make little tiny ones like this. This one is 4.5 inches square. And I use this all the time for small things, but I have great big ones that I use for drawing cartoons and making things square. So you can use it like a T-square and line up, lines that you need to be square. And it also has 30, 45, and 60-degree angles on it. That I assume is for, that quilters use those angles a lot, but they can come in handy. I probably have a handful of those. Quilt rulers. They're fabulous. All right, let's do this one on the other side. Always a dilemma whether to leave that one open in the middle or not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, let's just try it. Here's the thing. If it doesn't work, we'll take it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just building up the hill by backing up steps one at a time until I get to the top. And then I'm going to cheat again. Go down the side. It's not really cheating, it's working with the structure of your medium. Let's call it that. Sharon is spinning silk hankies. That sounds fun. My spinning teacher was Maggie Casey, and is Maggie Casey, one of my spinning teachers. And she made us spin silk hankies. It was fun. I had forgotten about that. Sharon, thanks for the reminder. Okay, so now I've got my little hills, and I am gonna go around like this. So pigtails on the very edge. One thing you can do with that is cut this off on a needle and needle it down in the back, especially on a loom like this that I can turn it over. But for right now, I'll just leave that. If it bothers you that these, that's not what I wanted there. If it bothers you that these last turns are loose, you can take a needle and needle them in. This yarn's pretty sticky, so if I do that, it'll sort of stay on the back. Yeah, Nora, I guess a lot. On the big pieces, if it's something that's important, I will write it down, but it didn't seem important in this case on this piece. All right, so I'm doing this eccentric thing again, eccentric, See, I'm not gonna like that. I'm gonna have to go back and take that out, I think. We'll see. If I put a lot of extra weft in there, I might be saved. So what I'm seeing is that this warp at the bottom may be a little too much. The angle may be a little too steep and it might not cover. Pigtailing those. But we'll see what happens. Mandy asked, where can I learn how to draw cartoons? I'm teaching a class about that right now, Mandy. I can't remember if you're in it or not, but the design class talks about all kinds of aspects of cartoons. Tapestry cartoons. I can't think of another source. If anybody else knows like a article or something out there, you can pop it in. Okay. So yeah, let's give this one more moment before I decide to take it out. I need 3. Do as I say, not as I do. Don't necessarily break your yarn. Actually, this yarn is very fairly weak, so I'm not hurting my hands too badly by doing that. All right. Let's see if this is going to work. I'm going to put an extra wrap around in this valley where I'm thinking this will not fill in. And see what I think. Oh, I might, maybe. Okay. I have a shedding problem here because I am starting with just 1 butterfly instead of 2. And I'm going to stick with that. So here I can wrap around this one, but when I get here, that's in the wrong shed. So I'm going to take this tail and fix that. I'm just going to go in there like that. Some people might call it fudging. It's just weaving tapestry. Okay, I think maybe because this is going to pack in so much that I will be okay with those little dots. If I do the same thing here where I put a wrap at the bottom. All right, so oops, just unwove that. So my goal, you all, is to stick to half an hour, but I'm not very good at that. So if you have to jump off, you go right ahead. And oh, Angie, you might have missed that. The design class is open again because of the COVID-19 stay-at-home stuff. I decided to open the design class again. So if you want to jump in, it is open now. All right, this is another experiment. So I ran that down the side and I might not like it, but that fixed my shed. It had the advantage of fixing the same shedding problem I was going to have right here at the same time as setting me up for the next hill. So, oh, I think it's going to work. The things you learn with practice. All right. Nope. That is an error. So you can see right there, maybe. Here, I'll zoom you in. See right there, I had a float. Those are the kinds of things that you learn to see better when you have a little more experience watching what you're doing. It just takes time. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay, so that seems to be working out. I will finish that in the same way, and I will take this off the loom today. Let's go to here. Thanks, Robin. Yes, Reba, I definitely. So Reba was saying she likes seeing me fix things. So fixing, and even fixing in air quotes, I talk about it like fixing and fudging and whatever, but that's just the way Tapestry works. That you're always reevaluating where things are going. I have met people who tried to set up their weaving so they never had to fix anything, and they just end up frustrated. So it's actually about learning to, when you get into something that isn't working, learning how to fix it instead of feeling like you made a mistake. It isn't really a mistake. It's just that's the nature of Tapestry, that you have to know the ways to move forward. Angie is asking about the design class. Will you have to do catch up? So basically, if you signed up now, the content starts with January, and you can do, you have as much time as you want. There are live Q&As at the end of every month, which you can come to even if you haven't caught up. So from here on out, I won't be offering that class like live again. So it will be offered as a static class. But if you want live back and forth with students, now is the only time it's offered that way. And then I'll start a new season of the class in January. So yeah, I guess there is some catch up, but it's at your own discretion as to how fast you want to do it. Carol, fudging equals artistry. I totally agree. Dory, I leave my watch at the door. That's awesome. Yeah, Michelle, right? Michelle in Texas says, over time, I found there are many ways to get something done. And that's so true. And different teachers will teach you different ways to do things, and different materials and looms and all of those things influence the way you decide to do things. So starting to learn what you prefer, or working within whatever limitations you have, which brings me right back to the quote I was trying to talk about from a student at the beginning, that sometimes limitations are a good way to push yourself to learn something new or use whatever you have, that kind of thing. So Anna says, Angie, some of us are pretty far behind. You'll probably catch up. I have had some people registering just in the last few days, a couple of new people. So there are people who are spread all along the path. It would be helpful to watch you take the fringeless piece off. I could do that if I could get my camera to back up a little bit. I could finish weaving it and then take it off tomorrow, or at least show you how I take it off. I might not make you sit there and watch the whole thing, but I could do that. Cool. So I think you guys are fantastic. Thank you for showing up every day. I really appreciate it. It helps me. I hope it helps you. If you have, suggestions of things you'd like, mostly my intention still is just to do some weaving, but I have a hard time. The teacher in me has a hard time just shutting up and weaving. So sorry that I run my mouth a lot. Oh, Kathy, okay. You'd be interested in seeing me take the piece off the loom. Okay, well, I will dig up some empty bobbins because I saved the fly line backing, and I will weave this little tiny bit, and I'll save the last needled bit to show you tomorrow, and I'll take it off. Okay, good deal. Thanks, you guys. And good. It sounds like a bunch of you would like to see me take that off. So good. I have a plan for tomorrow. I will be weaving on the deck. I'll tell you what I weave on today. And cool. I will see you all tomorrow, and stay safe and have a good evening.